Hello, today we're going to be creating some MDM certificates. We are just going to be following this guide that I have written up here on GitHub. This is just the accompanying video to go along and show what happens in the process, along with telling you how to do it. And so, a prereq to this guide is having an Apple developer account with the MDM CSR service enabled. If you don't have this, you can just contact Apple Developer Support and they should be able to enable it for you. And then the other things that we might use or that we are using in this is MicroMDM's MDM util library. This will help with the signing process. And then to generate our certificate request, we're just going to use OpenSSL. I've also made a tool that does this without the use of OpenSSL and MDM util. It's doing the same thing. It just is less commands to do it. Anyways, for the process overview, in the Apple MDM space, there's MDM vendors, and then there's MDM customers. And when you're using an open source MDM, you have to be the vendor and the customer. And so we have to do both sides of the process here. So the first part of this process is to create the MDM vendor side. And we need to make a RSA private key and a certificate signing request that we will send to Apple for them to give us a MDM vendor certificate. So we copy this first command here. And just to break it down a little bit, we're using OpenSSL to do the certificate generation. We are talking about requests here, and we want our output files to be named mdmcsr.csr for the CSR file, and then our private key is going to be of RSA type and a 2048 bit. And then for our private key file, we're just naming it mdmcsr.key. Dash node here just means we are not going to encrypt the private key file with the passphrase. And then the subject option here, we just enter in our subject as a string. And to break down the subject, this capital C means the two-letter country code. So I'm in the US, so I'm going to use US. CN means common name, and I just put down a basic MDM CSR common name. And then our email address. Usually they use your Apple developer email, but in my experience, it can just be any email that you want. So I will just put this email, and then we do this, and we've generated the two files. If we check, they're both there. And we can even view our files. So if you want to see what like a CSR looks like, if I paste this in here, breaking this one down using OpenSSL again, and we're still talking about requests here, and our input file is our MDM CSR certificate signing request, and we want to see the text part of that. And this no out option means don't display the raw certificate request. And then this name options flag is just how we want to display the options at the top of the certificate request. So this is kind of like displaying what we put in our subject properly. And if I hit enter here and then I scroll up, we can see that we've put the email address, CN, and country code in there, and we have our RSA 2048-bit key algorithm kind of defined right there for our certificate request. So after we've generated our certificate request, we have to sign into our Apple developer account and follow these steps here to get the vendor certificate from Apple. So I've already signed in. The link in the guide will take you right to the right page, but if you just sign into developer.apple.com and we go to certificates, and then I already have a few here, but if we add one here, And then we go down to services, MDM CSR, and check that and hit continue. And then I choose that file. Where is this? And we choose our MDM CSR certificate signing request, upload that, hit continue, pops out some information. Take note of the expiration date because you will have to go back and renew these. And then if we download this, and let's just pop that, copy this file and put it in our MDM certs. And so you should get a file called mdm.cert, and that is the uh, signed certificate from Apple. Next up here is we need to do the MDM vendor side, or we need to do the MDM customer side. And so this is all about APNS, Apple's push notification service. And we're going to generate another private key CSR here with pretty much the same command, just with the new file names. And so open SSL to do the certificates request here because we're still working with CSRs. Our out file is just going to be called push.csr, and our new key will be of RSA 2048 bit again. Our key out will just be a push.key. Nodes, we're still not going to encrypt this key with a passphrase. And then our subject is more or less the same. And you can just put the same email address in there. And so we've made two more. So now we should have 5 certificate files in our MDM cert directory. Again, we can look at our push CSR with the same command here, but I'm going to skip over that. We have to sign our APNS CSR with our MDM vendor certificate. We're going to use the MDM util tool here, and it's going to take in our CSR and our MDM certificate private key and MDM certificate that we downloaded from Apple, and it's going to spit out this push plist file that we have to send to Apple again. And this is all part of the customer workflow. So usually the vendor would give you somewhere to put your APNS CSR, and then they'd spit out the request that you go into identity.apple and upload it there. So we are going to build the MDM util tool right now because the version in the releases is old, doesn't have the command that we need to use. So if we just git clone and then we go into MDM util and then make sure you have Go installed so that you can build this. And then if you just do make, it should build. And then if we do ls-la, our binary is right here. Let's copy this MDM util Darwin and move it into the MDM certs folder so that, and then let's go to the MDM certs directory and clear, and then let's chmod our tool here so that we can run it. And so back in the guide here, we just need to copy this command and pop it in there and bada bing, bada boom. If we do ls-la, you'll see down here at the bottom we have our push.plist b64.request file. And so here we go. This file here is a base64 encoded plist slash XML file. Apple needs it to be base64 encoded, but if you wanted to see kind of what it looks like here, you can copy this command and it'll just print it out and decode it, and it looks something like this. Just as an example with the different parts. So our certificate request CSR is our APNS part here, and that's just splayed out. And then the push certificate certificate chain here is our MDM cert, and then two of Apple's certs here, their intermediate cert and then their root cert, and they're just chained together like this. And then our push signature is just the signature from the MDM CSR key from signing the push cert. And so we'll take this request file and go to identity.apple.com/pushcert and upload it in there. This doesn't have to be the same account as your developer account. It can be any number of Apple accounts. Just know that it's going to be associated with your MDM, and you have to renew it. So, all right. With that, let's jump to that portal. All right. So once you sign into identity.apple.com/pushcert, you'll see this page here. I have a few certs, but I'm going to create a new one with this green create a certificate button in the corner, and check that I've read those notes. We're just going to put anything in there. If you're doing nano MDM testing, put that in there. Just give yourself something to reference in the future for when you have to renew it or revoke it. And then we will put our push plist request file and click upload. And then you should get a confirmation with the expiration date. Make a note of this so that you can give yourself plenty of time in the future to renew it. And then you'll click download, and you should get a file in our downloads that looks like MDM underscore your Apple account underscore certificate.pem. And so with that, we can just see that it's there. That's the process of making the MDM certificates. In the next video, we will use these certificates with a test nano MDM server and be using MDM like a boss. All right. See you guys.